Once upon a time, in a land filled with magic and wonder, there lived a beautiful fairy princess named Lily. Lily lived in a magnificent castle in the heart of an enchanted forest, where the trees whispered secrets to the wind and the flowers glowed in the moonlight. Lily was a kind and gentle fairy, and she loved nothing more than spreading joy and happiness to all the creatures of the forest. She spent her days singing sweet melodies and playing games with her friends, the forest animals. One evening, as Lily was getting ready for bed, she heard a faint knock at her door. She opened it to find a small, mischievous fairy with sparkly wings and a sly grin. The fairy introduced herself as Tink and said that she had a special bedtime story to tell Lily. Tink flew into Lily's room and sat on her bed. She began to tell a story about a magical forest far, far away, where the fairies and animals lived in harmony and happiness. In this forest, there was a fairy queen named Queenie who ruled over all the fairies with kindness and wisdom. One day, a wicked sorcerer cast a spell on the forest, causing all the magic to disappear. The animals lost their voices and the fairies lost their wings. The forest was plunged into darkness and despair. Queenie knew that she had to find a way to break the spell and restore the magic to the forest. She called on all the fairies to gather around her and asked for their help. Tink, who was a clever and resourceful fairy, had an idea. She remembered a special flower that grew deep in the forest, a flower that was said to have the power to break any spell. If they could find this flower and bring it back to Queenie, the magic of the forest might be restored. Lily and Tink and the other fairies set out on a journey to find the special flower. They flew over mountains and valleys, through dense forests and across babbling brooks. They encountered many dangers along the way, but they were brave and determined and they never gave up. At last, they reached the place where the special flower grew. It was a beautiful, shining blossom with petals as soft as clouds. Tink plucked the flower and carried it back to Queenie. As soon as Queenie held the flower in her hand, a bright light shone throughout the forest. The spell was broken, and the magic returned. The animals could talk again and the fairies could fly once more. The forest was filled with joy and laughter. Queenie thanked Tink and the other fairies for their bravery and kindness. She gave each of them a special gift to show her gratitude. Tink received a set of magic fairy dust that could turn any object into gold. Lily was so moved by Tink's story that she hugged her and said, "Thank you for the wonderful bedtime story. It was full of magic and adventure." Tink grinned and said, "You're welcome, Lily. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Now it's time for you to get some rest and have sweet dreams." And so, Lily closed her eyes and drifted off to sleep, feeling happy and content. This is the end of tonight's bedtime story. I hope you enjoyed it. Sweet dreams.